morning. Welcome to another journey with Bushcraft Dave out on a big walk in the Peak District. Doing another walk from the Collins Rambler's Guide to the Peak District. This time I'm doing walk number 18. I think it's walk number 18. Yeah, walk number 18. And it's Higger and Carl Walk. So I've set off this morning, from the car park at Longshore Lodge. There's an estate, Longshore Estate. And I've set off walking from there. It's windy, it's a bit chilly, and I'm starting out on what's going to be the first of 2 walks in one day. I've set myself a bit of a challenge today. So this first walk, Higger and Carl Walk, it's a level 3 difficulty walk. It's a 5-mile walk. So I'm hoping that this first one is going to be fairly steady. And then you'll have to see next week what walk number 2 is. But it looks like it's going to be a bit more of a beast. So here we are, Higger, Carl Walk. Away we go, and let's see where we get to. Forgot to say I'm also cooking on this walk. Because I'm going to be doing 2 walks in one day, I am cooking both times. I've seen on a few videos recently people doing noodles and tinned fish. And it's very exposed and windy today. I'm getting to a point where I'm almost a bit too hot. But I'm on the top, so I know there'll be a wind chill, so it's pretty incredible. Currently walking towards Burbage Millstones, I think it's called, something like that. We're getting to an area where they used to take all the stones from here and use them for the milling process. This is where all millstones would come from. But as people started to become obsessed with having white bread in about the 1800s, these millstones stopped getting used because they had a tendency to, well, make them not bright white. They would put sort of a darker tinge to the flour that it was milling. But we'll see if we can find any of them abandoned millstones. We'll see if we can find any of those abandoned millstones while we're up here, but it's beautiful up here. Now, looking into the mists in the distance, there are 2 peaks. one much further in the distance, in amongst all the clouds, and one just a bit clearer, much nearer to me. I'm not sure which of those is Higger. It might be the one in the mist is Higger, or the one nearest to me is Higger, because there's also a little bit of a peak here, which might be Carl Walk. But we'll see when we get to it. Well, having now found the route up to Higger, I now know which of those two peaks it was. So, do you think it was peak number A, the one that was in the distance, surrounded by clouds, or peak number B, the one much closer to us? Which one do you think? Well, hopefully you've all guessed right. It was number C, or letter C. It was the bit when I panned to the left and showed you the next bit. That is actually Higger. So I've no idea what them other peaks are. It might be part of Stanage Edge, which I'm doing later on today, which you'll see next week. But for now, I'm heading up this lovely path towards Higger. Higger, which means literally higher tor. Tor being the word they use to sort of hill or rock face. So yes, the highest one. It's all cool. Up to Higger we go. That ridge we've already walked all the way along, which is pretty cool. Now heading for this. Oh, it's windy. Smaller outcropping just here, I believe that is Carl Walk. So we're on Higger, and just below it, Carl Walk. A tiny little disclaimer, or maybe even a warning for anybody out doing these walks. Please be careful on the rocks. I may have just slipped down a relatively large one and kind of dropped everything, but everything's fine, including me. Thanks for worrying. But yeah, seriously, stick to the paths. If you can't see a path, find one, all right? But anyway, we are heading now along the path in front of us to the little Carl Walk outcropping, where I might try and make me lunch. So there we have it. Carl Walk. An Iron Age, but possibly even earlier, settlement just on a raised little plateau, easily defendable from three sides on the top of it, and we're heading now vaguely back in that direction. I've just got to try and find the path, and we are nearly back, so I need to find somewhere to cook. Most of the liquid's been absorbed, and then in with the fish. And there we have it. I've got curry flavoured super noodles and a tin of mackerel in tomato sauce. I'd seen a few other hikers and backpackers doing something similar to this on their sort of like long distance hikes, and I just thought, you know what, if I'm out today, this is super simple. Two really light things to take with me. Super noodles weighed nothing really, the tin of mackerel not a lot. It's about 430 calories the whole thing, so it'll sort me out. Let's see what it tastes like. Nice. I think having I was looking at all of the different flavours of super noodles, bacon, chicken, things like that. I just thought curry, fish, it's going to be like a fish curry. Oh my goodness, it's windy. Right, listen, it's delicious. I'm going to get this eaten. This fuels me up for the next bit. I've only got about a mile to go to get back to the car. It's been a fantastic walk. I'll chat to you again in a second, and we'll get this lovely walk finished, and I'll get myself prepared mentally and physically for the next one. Chat to you in a minute. So thank you for joining me on today's walk. Walk number 18, Higger and Carl Walk. It was a level 3 difficulty. It was a 5-mile walk. I actually think it was a really nice walk. None of the ups were particularly strenuous. I think the reason it was a level 3 walk is because of the footing. Quite often as you're walking over the stones, you know, it's kind of tiring on from that part of things, but actually a 5-mile walk, nice circular walk, taking in a couple of little sort of rocky bits, which is cool. I've even got Burbage Edge that I was walking around before, right at the beginning. I've eaten a lovely dish of super noodles and mackerel in tomato sauce. Absolutely brilliant. Only slight problem is that it was so windy and so cold that the heat from the dish just disappeared pretty quickly, so I had to wolf it fairly fast, but that'll fuel me up for what will be the next walk. Next week you'll be watching me do walk number 19, Stanage Edge, a really beautiful part of the Peak District. You'll see it next week, but I'm going to start doing it pretty shortly. I've got about 3/4 of a mile left back to the car. I'm going to drive to Hathersage, park up, and then I've got a 9.5-mile walk ahead of me. I don't feel too bad at the minute. The 5 miles that I've done today don't feel too bad so far, but I've got another 9.5 miles to do today. So by the end of the day, I'm going to have done about 15 miles of walking. It's about 24 kilometres. We'll have to see next week whether it's ended up being doable or not. And also what I'm going to cook next week, because I've got some more food ready to cook with me later on. For now, that's all from Bushcraft Dave. Sorry, I keep looking down because the footing is dodgy. I can see myself falling over. Yeah, that's everything from this week. Or everything you're going to see from what I do today. It's been lovely for you to join me. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell notification so you can see next week what I'm ending up doing later today. And other than that, see you in the next one. There's a path in amongst here somewhere. I just need to find it. Bear with me. I'll let you know. Let's try this way. Oh, gosh. Yes, this looks likely. Well, this is the path. Not that you can see it. It's not been walked much. Very overgrown. I'm sure the other way I was going joins up. Anyway, ultimately we're heading for this road. Right then. Oh gosh, I think the wind's going to blow this away. Let's try that. Very good. Oh god. I'll try and keep this.